Good morning. My name is Heidi Dixon, and I'm a chaplain for Unlumen Health. And our mission is to light the way and make the most of what is. And this is Sunshine for Your Soul. And the title of our post today is called For Such a Time as This. And the reality is, before I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, I had not a single thought in my head about what we might talk about today. And so I am reminded of the power we have to inspire one another, and where we can go from not being able to see a possibility of something happening or see ourselves doing something, even if we've done it 33 times before, that a word from a friend can make it possible again. And so I want to thank Jean and for her call yesterday, and we were talking about just how things were going for her, and Jean has come through and overcome a lot of trials in her life, and trials, as we know, continue to present themselves, but she finds great joy and peace in what she calls her kingdom assignment. And I have never really heard these words together before. I know what she means by them. But she is making her corner of the world, of which I'm gratefully a part of, a better place where she can love and serve those that God sends to her. And so it turns out that one of the things she's working on right now is a Bible study in the book of Esther. And particularly in the book of Esther, around chapter 4, verse 14. When Queen Esther's cousin, who ultimately became her adoptive father, was encouraging her to take action on behalf of the Jews, who there were plans for annihilation in place. And he exhorts her by saying, "And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" And I needed the reminder that specific times and places are not coincidental or not unimportant, and not outside the things that God intends for us to use and to be in. And it can all be for our good and for His glory. And so this reminded me of something I read earlier in the week in one of the reflections. I was reading it. It said, "The fact is that God chose Mary, a young Galilean girl who lived in a particular place. And in saying yes to His plan of salvation, Mary transformed that place. Her poor hovel became a sanctuary, an altar, a sacred space. Down to our time, God continues to use men and women to accomplish the outworking of His plan of salvation in time and space. And when they say yes, new corners of the earth are hallowed, made holy." And this is what my friend Jean did for me yesterday. Hopefully this is what our time together will do for you today. I think we're in each other's corner, and I'm grateful for that. Carol Houselander writes, "The reason why we are where we are this Christmas, in this house, family, office, workroom, hospital, or camp, is because it is here in this place that Christ wants to be born. From here that He wants His life to begin again in the world." And Father Jacques Philippe writes, "To live today well, we also should remember that God only asks for one thing at a time, never two. It doesn't matter whether the job we have in hand is sweeping the kitchen floor or giving a speech to 40,000 people. We must put our hearts into it, simply and calmly, and not try to solve more than one problem at a time. Even when what we're doing is genuinely trifling, it's a mistake to rush through it as though we felt we were wasting time. If something, no matter how ordinary, needs to be done and is part of our lives, it's worth doing for its own sake and worth putting our hearts into." All reminders that I needed, very timely and amazing. Just the word from her, from my friend Jean, reminded me of something I'd read earlier in the week, which reminded me of other things from other times. And without her, like the pilot light was just out. And so I consider it a joy and a privilege to be here, and hopefully you have somebody who can speak a word of life into your own today, and if not, then this can be it. So the song for today, I was looking through, I thought, well, we're in the season of Advent and moving toward Christmas as we await and remember Christ first coming into the world as we await his second coming into the world. And so to me, Christmas songs are appropriate for this month, and I think we can get those to you for the remaining weeks here. But as I was going through, I was looking for one simple enough to play, as usual, and one that kind of spoke to where I have been and am at, and where the world is sort of at right now. And I came upon, A Midnight Clear. And I'm familiar with this song, but I've never really paid that much attention to the words, nor have had any particular affinity for it. But when I read through all of the verses in the book that I had last night, it was just the thing. And so I'll be singing verse 1, and in my book today it's verse 3, which is beautiful, and I want to read it to you now in case you can't understand it when I sing it. But not verse 1 because you're familiar with it, but verse 3, it says, "And ye beneath life's crushing load, whose forms are bending low, who toil along the climbing way with painful steps and slow. Look now, for glad and golden hours come swiftly on the wing. O rest beside the weary road and hear the angels sing."
Came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay, to hear the angels sing. And ye beneath life's crushing load, whose forms are bending low, who toil along the climbing way with painful steps and slow. Look now, for glad and golden hours come swiftly on the wing. Oh, rest beside the weary road and hear the angels sing.
I hope you can hear the angels sing today. Thanks again to Jean for the inspiration yesterday, and pray God will be with you this Advent season and always.